Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to your friendly neighborhood Bats, where I talk about Spider-Man comics and Batman every day. My name is Jared, and this is Amazing Spider-Man #1, volume, I don't know, 1,000. I don't know how many times they've rebooted Spider-Man #1 at this point, but this is written by Joe Kelly and art by Pepe Larraz, with John Romita Jr. doing a backup story with Scott Hanna, and Matre Garcia is the colorist for Larraz. And it's been a really long time since I've read any modern Spider-Man. Where I had read modern Spider-Man last was in the Nick Spencer run. I got through the first, I remember there was a Craven story. I was just kind of looking through the issues on Marvel Unlimited, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this Craven story. Like, he came back from the dead, and but it's been a while. It's been a long while. So I missed all of the majority of the Spencer run in that volume. I've missed all of the following volume with Zeb Wells, and I haven't read anything in a long time. This is the first one I've read, and I really like Pepe Larraz as an artist, and I really, 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 really want to enjoy new comics. I really do. I want to be able to be not grumpy and upset about everything. So, and Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man, is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. And I want to read new fun adventures with him. And this is what I kind of got, right? It was, we as fans I feel like we just have to accept that MJ and him are not happening. And we're going to have kind of suspended, what's it called? Arrested Development Spider-Man moving forward. And so the starts off with Peter trying to get a job, and he ends up getting a job by a friend that Aunt May doesn't like from middle school, which basically I'm guessing is going to be a Batman Hush kind of situation, where they introduce this new character for the sake of a storyline. And while Peter's doing his kind of job interview, he hears this noise, and then there's Rhino screwing everything up, and he has to go save the day. And look at this splash page, man. Just fantastic. Pepe Larraz rules, man. His art is just incredible. Lots of dynamics, lots of energy, lots of movement. Just incredible. And so the story is that it kind of starts off like original Hush, where a villain is doing something he wouldn't normally do, and then something happens, and it leads us to a mystery villain. And so Kingsley is talking to someone in the shadows. You can kind of see them there, and here they are again, and we see the Hobgoblin. Looks like Hobgoblin's coming back, and we're kind of introduced to the new cast, or at least for me, it's the new cast of supporting characters. We got Randy, this drunk chick, and Shay, which is Peter's kind of on and off girlfriend. It seems like they're not committed to each other, or she's not committed to Peter, which Peter's not, he's notorious for being with promiscuous women, it seems like. His art is just incredible. I love Pepe Larraz. So Peter goes, investigates Rhino's apartment, where his spider sense is sent off by something, and he goes crazy, and all his villains show up. And then we get a Norman Osborn backup story by John Romita Jr. and Joe Kelly writing this. And so we kind of get Norman growing as a character. I don't really know what's happened with Norman in the last volume, but I know he's like a good guy. I run with it. And so for old time's sake, I read the editor's letter and I read all this. So it's all kind of the creative team, hyping up the book, being excited to be a part of it. And then we get actual letter from a fan, and he's been collecting Spider-Man since issue 272, and he hasn't broke his run. And I was like, good for him, man. What a guy. I wonder what he feels about a lot of books, because he comes off very just like, I love Spider-Man, and these are the things I'd like to see. And the editor's just like, keep reading, and happy birthday, because he wanted to be in the letters page on his birthday. And what I thought was kind of neat as I was kind of just flipping through this, I was like, oh crap, there's more story. And it's almost like a post-credit scene, right? Because you go through all of this. This took a while to read, like as if you were going through the credits, and then we get another scene at the very end. And I was like, oh, they just set up something. And I was like, I don't know who this is. The Hell Gate is open. He looks like Ares from Wonder Woman, but I'm pretty sure that's not who he is. And yeah, the first issue, I heard they play it safe, and they do. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Moving on to issue 2, so it's gonna be a long review. First off, I'm not going crazy, right? Like, it's the same but not the same pose. I think it's just the heads in the same position, but then the body, it just trips me out when I look at them next to each other. The same but not the same. Second issue, we find out that Peter's just going nuts. He's been kind of like Scarecrow drugged, and he's causing a ruckus. He's smashing cars and throwing motorcycles in New York, and people are watching it. They're filming it, and the cops don't know what to do. And then he just wakes up at work, and he's like, doesn't know what the hell's happening. And I was like, oh, this is a trip. And like, I even had to go, did I miss a page? Like, I went to this whole thing, like it was stuck. And I was like, nope, all right. And he's reading, and then like the scene changes again, and he's like, oh man, not again. And they're talking about magic mushrooms, and he's like, he's tripping. You can see he's just not having a good time. And we get some flashbacks, and then Peter's about to like jump off a roof, and then he hears ha 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 ha. And then Goblin shows up, which I was like, Pepe is so good. He's just so good. And then he goes to kill Norman, and Norman's like, you're taking the day off. And then we get a little scene with Hobgoblin. They don't show him though. And the mystery villain. And we find out that, Peter's been poisoned and he's hallucinating. And Norman tells him, take 24 hours to relax. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And so Peter then goes to Ravencroft, which is essentially Spider-Man's Arkham Asylum, where I didn't know this, but I'm fine with it, because it's like, that's the fun of American comics. Like, you can kind of jump back in at any point and kind of just go with it. I don't, I was like, I'm going to read some new Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not jumping back in from 2018 and catching up 6 years. Nah, screw that. I'm just starting at the new number 1. So, and Peter goes to Ravencroft, where he meets his girlfriend, or on and off kinda fling, not committed, non-committed romantic relationship. I mean, this is very modern Spider-Man. And he goes to go check on Rhino, and he starts tripping out again. And that's when we get the reveal of this character, Itsy Bitsy, which she says, hey, Daddy, long time no me. And I was like, I have no idea who this is, but she's creepy, and I'm interested. Okay. And letters column, and next issue comes out May 7th, which is tomorrow, upon this recording, which it'll be out later, so on the channel. But honestly, so truth be told, I really did enjoy both these issues. They were fun, and it was nice to read some modern Spider-Man, and I'm excited so much that in the letters in the letters column, the longtime fan who's been collecting since 272, he was talking about mail-in subscription, and he's never not had a mail-in subscription to Spider-Man. And I was like, they still do that? And so I went on there and I saw that I can get a mail-in subscription to Spider-Man. And so I did. So it's $35 for 12 issues, and I don't know what issue I'm going to get first, but I'm going to get issue 3 from the store this weekend. I have a doctor's appointment, and I'm going to hit up the comic shop while I'm out there. So yeah, I had fun, and I'm looking forward to reading more modern Spider-Man. Like, I want to give this series a chance. I don't know. I want to be happy about new modern comics, not just reading comics from 50 years ago. It sucks sometimes, but it's also fun to read both. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.